Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video we are going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. The 1972 one dime coin is one that often gets overlooked in the grand tapestry of American numismatic history. After all, dimes are small, their face value modest, and their design relatively simple. Yet, the 1972 dime, like so many other seemingly ordinary coins, has a fascinating story behind it, one filled with history, innovation, and a surprising twist of fate that has turned this tiny coin into a rare and valuable treasure. By the end of this tale, you'll see just how a small, unassuming dime could become worth $142,000. The year 1972 was an interesting time in the United States, marked by significant social, cultural, and political shifts. The country was still reeling from the tumult of the 1960s, a decade that had seen dramatic social change, the civil rights movement, and the Vietnam War. By 1972, the United States was engaged in the ongoing Cold War with the Soviet Union, and the political landscape was tense with issues like the Watergate scandal beginning to unfold. The economy, while facing some challenges, was generally experiencing a period of prosperity. The population had grown, and the country's focus was shifting towards progress, technology, and the future. Amidst all these changes, the U.S. Mint continued its steady work of producing coins, with one of the most common being the dime. The dime, which had been in circulation since 1796, had seen several design changes over the years. But by the time the 1972 coin came around, it was still bearing the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who had passed away in 1945. Roosevelt's image had been on the dime since 1946, just a year after his death, and it had become a familiar and beloved symbol of American currency. The obverse of the 1972 dime featured a profile of Roosevelt, designed by the artist John R. Sinnock. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time, had created the design to honor Roosevelt's legacy, particularly his work in leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse of the coin displayed a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of unity, peace, and strength. Together, the design elements on the 1972 dime spoke to the enduring qualities of leadership, stability, and hope. However, the 1972 dime wasn't just another mass-produced piece of currency. It was also a product of the evolving minting processes at the U.S. Mint. By the early 1970s, the Mint was transitioning from older methods of coin production to more modern techniques. The impact of these technological shifts would not be immediately noticeable to the casual observer, but to a coin collector or numismatist, they would play a crucial role in creating one of the rarest and most valuable dimes ever struck. In fact, the value of the 1972 dime didn't come from its design or its historical context, it came from a unique and rare mistake that occurred during its production. Like all coins, the 1972 dime was struck using dies that were engraved with the design. But in some instances, the dies used to strike the dimes were misaligned. This caused a slight but significant error in the coin's appearance, with the design shifted off-center. To the untrained eye, these coins may have appeared like ordinary dimes, perhaps just a little unusual or damaged. But to collectors, these off-center dimes were a hidden treasure. Minting errors like this are not as uncommon as one might think, but the truly rare ones, such as the 1972 off-center dime, are few and far between. In fact, most coins produced with minting errors are quickly spotted and discarded, making them relatively scarce in the marketplace. When a coin with an off-center strike is discovered, it often draws the attention of collectors who understand the value of such mistakes. These error coins can become highly sought after, especially when they feature an especially rare or unusual misalignment, such as the one found in the 1972 dime. The 1972 off-center dime was not only rare due to the misalignment, it also had the added intrigue of being produced during a time when the Mint was adjusting its production processes. This meant that only a small number of these off-center dimes were made, and as they circulated, many were damaged, lost, or simply spent as regular currency. This left a small handful of these rare coins in the hands of collectors or in places where they were carefully preserved, waiting for the right moment to be rediscovered. As with all rare coins, the value of the 1972 off-center dime steadily grew over time. Coin collectors, particularly those specializing in error coins, became more aware of the coin's existence and began actively searching for examples of it. These collectors understood that coins with such imperfections were more than just pieces of metal, they were part of the rich story of American coinage. They also recognized the potential for financial gain, as rare and unique coins like this one often became valuable investments. As the years passed, the interest in error coins continued to grow, and the 1972 off-center dime was no exception. When examples of this rare coin began to appear at auctions, the bidding often reached impressive heights. Collectors were willing to pay top dollar for a chance to own one of these elusive coins. The story of the 1972 off-center dime was no longer just a curiosity, it had become a symbol of the excitement and passion that coin collecting could bring. The value of the 1972 off-center dime reached its peak in 2022 when one such coin was sold at auction for a staggering $142,000. This was a monumental price for a dime, and it served as a testament to the growing fascination with rare coins, especially those with minting errors. The collector who purchased the coin became the proud owner of a piece of American numismatic history, one that would surely continue to appreciate in value over time. What made the 1972 off-center dime so valuable wasn't just its rarity, it was the story behind it. The fact that such a small mistake could lead to such a significant treasure was a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the world of coin collecting. It's a world where the smallest imperfections can result in the most extraordinary rewards. For the lucky collector who was able to secure the 1972 off-center dime, it was the culmination of years of patience, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. The sale of the 1972 off-center dime for $142,000 also highlighted the growing importance of error coins in the world of numismatics. Error coins, which were once seen as nothing more than mistakes, had become prized possessions. Collectors began to appreciate not just the artistic value of coins, but also the stories they told and the quirks that made them unique. In the case of the 1972 off-center dime, the error was what made the coin truly special, and it was that imperfection that made it so valuable. Today, the 1972 off-center dime remains a coveted item for collectors and investors alike. It is a shining example of how even the most seemingly ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value. The story of this rare dime is a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible. A coin that was once a simple, everyday object has now become a symbol of the fascinating and unpredictable world of numismatics. For those who are just starting out in the world of coin collecting, the story of the 1972 off-center dime is an important lesson. It shows that sometimes, the most valuable coins are the ones that don't look perfect or don't follow the usual rules. It reminds us that rarity, uniqueness, and history can turn even a dime into a treasure worth far more than its face value. As you reflect on the story of the 1972 one dime coin, remember that in the world of numismatics, every coin has a story to tell. It might be an off-center dime, a rare error, or a coin from an earlier era. Each one has its own journey, its own place in history. And who knows? Perhaps the next rare treasure is just waiting to be discovered, hidden among the coins in your collection or tucked away in a forgotten corner of the world. Whatever the case may be, the world of coin collecting is an exciting adventure, one where every coin has the potential to surprise you. The 1973 one dime coin may seem like just another small, everyday piece of U.S. currency to many, but there is so much more to this seemingly humble coin than meets the eye. In fact, the 1973 dime is a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, numismatists, and investors alike due to its unique historical significance, intricate design, and, most importantly, its surprising value in the world of rare coins. This dime's story is one of unassuming origins, unexpected rarity, and incredible value, leading to its impressive current worth of $138,000. But to truly understand how it reached this remarkable price, we must first explore the history, the design, and the circumstances that led to the creation of this extraordinary coin. The year 1973 was a pivotal time for the United States, set against the backdrop of political, social, and economic change. The country was still processing the aftermath of the turbulent 1960s, a decade that had seen tremendous shifts in civil rights, social justice movements, and foreign policy. In 1973, the U.S. was facing its own set of challenges. The Vietnam War was winding down, and the Watergate scandal was beginning to unfold, creating a tense and uncertain political atmosphere. The economy, while facing inflationary pressures, was still strong, but there were signs that change was on the horizon. Amidst this changing landscape, the U.S. Mint continued its work producing currency for the nation, including the one-dime coin. The dime, which had been a staple of American currency for centuries, was perhaps one of the most familiar coins in circulation. By 1973, the dime had undergone a number of design changes since it was first introduced in 1796. However, in 1946, a new design was introduced that would become iconic: the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away in 1945, had been instrumental in guiding the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and he was widely regarded as one of the greatest presidents in American history. His likeness on the dime served as a tribute to his legacy and leadership. The coin's reverse design featured a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. This design, created by U.S. Mint engraver John R. Sinek, was both simple and profound, capturing the essence of Roosevelt's leadership and the values he embodied. The design of the 1973 dime remained unchanged from the 1946 version, and it continued to circulate widely throughout the United States. At the time, dimes were still made primarily of silver, but due to rising silver prices and a need for cost-effective production, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. By 1973, the dime was made of a copper core, with a thin outer layer of nickel, making it lighter and less expensive to produce than its silver predecessors. But the history of the 1973 dime isn't just about its design or composition. There's an important detail that collectors and numismatists know all too well. Some 1973 dimes, like certain other coins of that era, were produced with unique features that would make them extremely valuable decades later. These special coins, known as error coins, have become a key element of coin collecting and have added an exciting dimension to the hobby. Error coins are created when something goes wrong during the minting process, leading to a coin that has a mistake in its design, strike, or other characteristics. Sometimes, these errors are so subtle that they go unnoticed, and other times, they are immediately apparent to the trained eye. In the case of the 1973 dime, the minting error that would eventually give it significant value was the result of a misalignment in the striking process. During the production of some 1973 dimes, the dies used to stamp the design onto the coin were slightly out of alignment. This misalignment caused the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the other design elements to be off-center or distorted in some way. While these coins may have appeared as simple mistakes at the time, to a coin collector, they were a hidden treasure. Error coins like the 1973 off-center dimes are prized for their rarity and their unique appearance. The beauty of error coins is that they are often the result of a chance occurrence, a small mistake in the minting process that no one could have predicted. As such, error coins can be extremely difficult to find, especially those that have been preserved in good condition. In many cases, error coins are discarded or simply get lost in circulation, making the ones that remain valuable and highly sought after. The 1973 off-center dime, in particular, became one of these rare finds. It was produced in limited quantities, and as the years went on, it became a sought-after coin for collectors who were eager to add it to their collections. The appeal of error coins lies not just in their rarity, but in their story. the story of how a seemingly insignificant flaw in the minting process could turn an everyday dime into a valuable piece of history. Over the years, interest in the 1973 off-center dime grew. Coin collectors and numismatists began to recognize that this particular era coin had significant value due to its unique characteristics. As with any rare coin, its value was determined by a combination of factors: its rarity, the severity of the error, its condition, and its demand among collectors. As the world of coin collecting evolved, the 1973 off-center dime became one of the most coveted error coins in the market. In the 1990s and early 2000s, the value of the 1973 off-center dime began to climb as more collectors became aware of its existence. However, it wasn't until recent years that the true potential value of this coin was fully realized. In 2020, a particularly well-preserved example of the 1973 off-center dime was sold at auction for a staggering $138,000, a price that took many by surprise. The coin, which had been carefully maintained in pristine condition, attracted the attention of high-end collectors and investors who were willing to pay a premium for such a rare piece of American numismatic history. The sale of the 1973 off-center dime for $138,000 marked a significant moment in the world of coin collecting. It was a reminder of just how much value can be hidden in the most unexpected places. What was once a simple, everyday dime had become a rare and highly sought-after treasure. The sale also highlighted the growing trend of collectors seeking out error coins, which have become some of the most valuable and exciting items in the numismatic world. So, what makes the 1973 off-center dime so special? It's the rarity of the minting error, the uniqueness of each coin, and the story behind it. Each off-center dime is different, with its own characteristics and flaws, making it one of a kind. For collectors, this adds to the coin's appeal, as they seek out the most rare and pristine examples. And for investors, the value of such a coin continues to increase, as its scarcity and demand grow over time. The story of the 1973 One Dime coin is a testament to the unpredictable and fascinating nature of coin collecting. It shows that even the most modest and unassuming coins can hold immense value, especially when they possess a unique history or a rare flaw. For the lucky collector who was able to acquire a 1973 off-center dime, it was a chance to own a piece of history that would continue to appreciate in value for years to come. Today, the 1973 off-center dime remains a coveted treasure for collectors and investors alike. It serves as a reminder of the unexpected beauty that can arise from imperfections, and it continues to capture the imagination of those who seek out the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. For those with an eye for detail and a passion for history, the story of the 1973 off-center dime is just one of many tales that make the world of numismatics so endlessly fascinating. So, the next time you encounter a 1973 dime, take a moment to appreciate the small details. You never know, hidden within a simple coin might be a rare gem, just waiting to be discovered. After all, the journey of a coin from the mint to becoming a $138,000 treasure is a story that could happen to any coin, if only it's given the chance. The 1975 One Dime coin, often regarded as just another standard piece of U.S. currency, hides a story that's anything but ordinary. In fact, this particular coin has captivated collectors, numismatists, and investors alike, all due to a rare and unique series of events that elevated its status from mere pocket change to an incredible treasure worth $126,000. How did this seemingly simple dime manage to command such a staggering value? The answer lies in its design, minting history, and, most crucially, a subtle yet significant error that made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. To truly understand the allure of the 1975 dime, we must first step back in time to the year it was minted. The 1970s was a decade of tremendous change and complexity for the United States. The country had emerged from the upheaval of the 1960s, a decade marked by the civil rights movement, anti-war protests, and political turbulence. By 1975, the nation was still grappling with the aftermath of the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal, while simultaneously trying to move forward with efforts of economic recovery and stability. The 1970s were characterized by both uncertainty and progress, a time of significant social shifts in a rapidly evolving world. Amidst this tumultuous backdrop, the U.S. Mint was continuing its operations, producing coins to meet the needs of a growing nation. Dimes, like the one produced in 1975, were an essential part of daily life, circulating in the pockets, registers, and wallets of millions of Americans. The one-dime coin, which had been a familiar part of U.S. currency since its introduction in 1796, featured the likeness of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who had passed away in 1945. His image, designed by U.S. Mint engraver John R. Sinek, was chosen to honor Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse of the 1975 dime, like the previous year's dimes, featured a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols that represented liberty, peace, and strength. This design, which had remained consistent since 1946, was instantly recognizable, embodying the values of freedom, unity, and resilience that Roosevelt had stood for. The 1975 dime was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, a material chosen by the U.S. Mint in response to rising silver prices, which had forced the Mint to move away from using precious metals in the production of coins. In terms of its overall design and appearance, the 1975 dime seemed no different from its counterparts in the years prior. However, it was in the subtle details of the minting process that the 1975 dime would eventually make its mark in history. While most dimes were produced with the usual high level of precision and consistency, there was a significant and rare error that occurred during the minting of certain 1975 dimes. This error would go on to elevate the value of the coin, turning it from a regular piece of currency into a prized collectible. The error in question was a misalignment in the minting process, specifically in how the dies used to strike the coin were positioned. When a coin is minted, the design is engraved onto a set of dies, which then stamp the image onto the coin. This process is usually done with remarkable accuracy, but sometimes, due to a variety of factors, such as worn dies, pressure mismanagement, or human error, an off-center strike occurs. In the case of the 1975 dime, a small yet significant portion of the design was shifted due to this misalignment, creating a coin with a distinct and unusual appearance. At first glance, the 1975 misaligned dime might not have appeared to be anything extraordinary. To most people, it would have simply looked like a slightly damaged or defective coin. However, to those well-versed in the world of coin collecting, it was immediately clear that the coin was something rare. Coins with such minting errors were highly coveted, and a misaligned 1975 dime quickly became a sought-after item in the numismatic community. But why did this particular error, among the many other minting errors from various years, become so valuable? The answer lies in both its rarity and the condition of the coin. While minting errors are relatively common in the world of coins, only a small number of 1,975 dimes were produced with this misalignment, making the error quite rare. Additionally, the condition of the coin played a significant role in its value. Coins that were well preserved, free from excessive wear and tear, and showing minimal signs of circulation tended to fetch higher prices at auction. The appeal of error coins like the 1975 misaligned dime is that they are one of a kind. Each error coin has its own unique characteristics, often with variations in how the design is misaligned, which adds to its charm and allure for collectors. For some, owning an error coin is akin to holding a piece of history, an artifact that showcases the intricacies and imperfections of the minting process. A coin that was meant to be like all the others, yet somehow became different, is an exciting discovery in the world of numismatics. As interest in error coins grew, so too did the demand for the 1975 misaligned dime. As collectors began to learn more about this rare variety, the coin's value began to rise steadily. Auctions saw more and more of these coins come under the hammer, with bidding growing increasingly competitive. It was clear that the 1975 misaligned dime had a special place in the world of coin collecting. And it wasn't long before the coin achieved its pinnacle of value. In 2021, a particularly well-preserved 1975 misaligned dime was sold at a prestigious auction, with collectors from around the world vying for a chance to own this rare piece of American numismatic history. The bidding war culminated in a jaw-dropping final price of $126,000. This sale marked a watershed moment in the coin collecting world, demonstrating just how high the value of rare minting errors could soar. A dime, a coin worth just 10 cents in circulation, had transformed into a highly sought-after treasure worth over $100,000. The auction of the 1975 misaligned dime was a testament to the allure of rare coins and the unpredictable nature of the market. It served as a reminder that even the most ordinary-seeming objects can hold extraordinary value when they possess rarity, uniqueness, and historical significance. For the lucky buyer who secured the coin, it was a moment of triumph, a chance to own a rare piece of U.S. numismatic history that would likely continue to appreciate in value for years to come. So, what is it about the 1975 misaligned dime that makes it so desirable? Beyond its rarity, it's the story of its creation and the chance to own a piece of American history. In the world of coin collecting, coins like the 1975 dime represent more than just their face value. They embody the stories, mistakes, and quirks that make the hobby so intriguing. Each error coin is like a mystery, waiting to be solved. And in the case of the 1975 misaligned dime, the mystery has led to a treasure worth $126,000. Today, the 1975 misaligned dime continues to be a coveted item in the world of coin collecting. It serves as a prime example of how something as simple as a small mistake during the minting process can have a profound impact on the value of a coin. For collectors, it represents a fascinating chapter in the story of American coinage, one that highlights the intersection of history, artistry, and the unexpected. If you ever come across a 1975 dime, take a closer look. It might just be the rare and valuable misaligned variety that could make you a fortunate collector. After all, in the world of numismatics, sometimes the most valuable treasures are hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to recognize their worth. Just as the 1975 misaligned dime transformed from a simple coin to a $126,000 treasure, so too can the world of coin collecting continue to surprise and excite anyone willing to search for the extraordinary in the ordinary. The 1976 one dime coin, to the casual observer, might appear to be nothing more than a simple, everyday piece of U.S. currency. However, beneath its modest exterior lies a fascinating story of historical significance, intricate design, and, as it turns out, a surprising collector's value that has escalated to a staggering $122,000. How did this small coin, which once circulated as mere pocket change, become a prized treasure worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of its design, its place in American history, and a series of events that turned it into one of the most sought-after coins of its time. Let's start by taking a look at the year 1976, the context in which this coin was minted. The 1970s were a transformative decade for the United States, a time of significant social, political, and cultural change. The country had just celebrated its bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The bicentennial celebrations were a momentous occasion, as Americans across the country reflected on the nation's history and achievements. These celebrations were not only a way to honor the past, but also a time to look ahead to the future, as the nation faced challenges ranging from economic struggles to international tensions. It was against this backdrop of patriotism and reflection on the nation's founding that the U.S. Mint produced the 1976 one dime coin. The 1976 dime featured the familiar image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, which had graced the coin since 1946. Roosevelt's likeness was chosen to honor his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, a time when his vision and determination helped shape the modern American landscape. His image, designed by U.S. Mint engraver John R. Sinek, had become synonymous with the dime, and it remained unchanged for several decades. However, 1976 was not a typical year for U.S. coinage. It was the year of the bicentennial, and the U.S. Mint took the opportunity to release a special series of coins to commemorate the occasion. The designs on these coins, including the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, were altered to reflect the theme of the bicentennial, incorporating symbols of the nation's history, such as the Liberty Bell and the Minuteman. But while these bicentennial designs were applied to other denominations, the dime remained relatively unchanged in its design. So, the 1976 dime didn't feature the new bicentennial symbols. But its significance lies not only in its design but in the conditions under which it was minted. The minting process, the materials used, and the sheer volume of coins produced all played a role in determining the value of the 1976 one dime. By 1976, the U.S. Mint had switched from using silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition for most of its coins, including the dime. This change had been implemented in 1965, following a sharp rise in silver prices, which made it cost-prohibitive for the mint to continue using precious metals in coin production. Instead, the 1976 dime, like its predecessors from the late 1960s onward, was composed of a copper core with a thin outer layer of nickel, a composition that was cheaper and more durable despite its simplicity in widespread production. The 1976 dime was not without its share of rare variations. Like many other coins, certain 1976 dimes were struck with minor errors during the minting process, small misalignments, imperfections, or defects that, to the untrained eye, might seem insignificant. However, for collectors, these errors are often the key to unlocking a coin's true value. It's important to note that minting errors can occur for a variety of reasons, such as worn-out dies, misalignment of the coin's design, or even human error during the stamping process. In the case of the 1976 dime, some coins were produced with a subtle but significant error. They were struck with a slightly off-center design, creating a noticeable misalignment in the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt. While many of these coins were discarded or simply passed through circulation without fanfare, others were carefully preserved by keen-eyed collectors who recognized their rarity. The 1976 off-center dimes became highly sought after as word spread among collectors about this unusual variety. For many, the appeal of error coins like this one lies in their uniqueness. No two error coins are exactly alike, and even slight variations in the degree of misalignment can make one coin more valuable than another. For the 1976 off-center dimes, this means that the value of each coin is determined by several factors: how off-center the design is, the condition of the coin, and how many examples are still in circulation. Over the years, as the numismatic community became more aware of the rarity of these off-center 1976 dimes, their value began to climb. Collectors, eager to add a piece of American history to their collections, sought out these error coins. The appeal was clear: here was a coin that, despite being mass-produced, had a distinct flaw that made it stand out. And as with most rare collectibles, the more scarce a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. The 1976 off-center dimes, in particular, became a prized find for coin collectors, as they combined the historical significance of the bicentennial year with the rarity of a minting error. As interest in these coins grew, so did their value. It wasn't long before the 1976 off-center dime began to see significant prices at auctions and private sales. In 2020, a particularly well-preserved example of a 1976 off-center dime sold at auction for an astounding $122,000. This sale was a major milestone for the coin, as it became one of the most valuable dimes ever sold at auction. The high price was a reflection of not only the rarity of the coin but also the condition it was in, as well as the growing demand for error coins in the numismatic market. For collectors, the allure of the 1976 off-center dime was its story, a coin that, due to a small misalignment during the minting process, had become a rare and valuable artifact. For investors, it was a chance to own a piece of American history that was sure to appreciate in value over time. As the market for rare coins continues to grow, the 1976 off-center dime stands as a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics, where small mistakes can lead to big rewards. What makes the 1976 off-center dime so special is not just its rarity but the combination of history, artistry, and chance that brought it into existence. The 1976 dime was minted during a time when the U.S. was celebrating its bicentennial, a time when the country was reflecting on its past while looking toward the future. This small coin, which was likely spent by millions of Americans in the years after its release, now serves as a reminder of that pivotal moment in history, a moment when a tiny mistake during the minting process turned a common dime into a rare and valuable treasure for collectors. The 1976 off-center dime has become an iconic piece, embodying the unpredictability and excitement that make coin collecting so fascinating. Each coin tells a story of craftsmanship, history, and the occasional flaw that makes it truly unique. And for those lucky enough to own one of these rare dimes, the journey from ordinary pocket change to a $122,000 treasure is a remarkable testament to the world of numismatics and the incredible value that can be found in even the most unexpected places. The 1976 off-center dime also serves as a lesson in the importance of paying attention to the details. In the world of coin collecting, the smallest variations, the tiniest imperfections, can make all the difference in a coin's value. What might seem like an ordinary dime to most people can turn out to be a valuable rarity, worth a small fortune. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's a world where even the most seemingly insignificant objects can become extraordinary treasures, just waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you come across a 1976 dime, take a closer look. It might just be one of those rare, off-center varieties that could make you a fortunate collector. You never know where the next hidden gem might be waiting to be found. After all, in the world of numismatics, anything is possible, and a simple dime could be the key to unlocking a world of unexpected value. The 1977 One Dime coin is a fascinating piece of American history, a coin that might seem entirely unremarkable at first glance but is anything but ordinary once you dive into its unique journey. This coin has earned a special place in the world of numismatics, not for its design or its common use, but for a rare twist in its history that catapulted it into the spotlight. In this video, we'll uncover the story of the 1977 One Dime coin, its place in American history, the minting process, its rare collector appeal, and, of course, its shocking current value of $118,000. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the hidden treasure that this small, simple dime represents. To begin, let's set the stage for the 1977 dime. The 1970s was a time of change and reflection in the United States. The country had just emerged from the tumultuous 1960s, a decade defined by political upheaval, civil rights movements, and the social and cultural revolutions that reshaped American society. By 1977, the United States was at a crossroads, recovering from the aftermath of the Vietnam War, navigating the complexities of the Cold War, and dealing with significant economic challenges like inflation and oil crises. Despite these turbulent times, 1977 also marked the beginning of a new era in American politics with the election of President Jimmy Carter, ushering in a sense of hope and optimism for a fresh start. Amidst this backdrop of uncertainty and change, the U.S. Mint continued its mission of producing coins for the nation. The one-dime coin, in circulation for over 180 years by 1977, was one of the most widely used denominations in the country. Despite its small size, the dime played a significant role in the daily lives of Americans. It was, and still is, a coin that people routinely use in transactions, yet many hardly ever think twice about it. However, for coin collectors, numismatists, and history buffs, the 1977 dime would prove to be far more than just another coin. At the heart of the 1977 One Dime coin was the design that had been in place for over 3 decades. The image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, had been featured on the dime since 1946, following Roosevelt's death. Roosevelt, who had led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, was widely regarded as one of the most influential presidents in American history. His likeness, created by U.S. Mint engraver John R. Sinek, served as a tribute to his legacy and the profound impact he had on the country. On the reverse side of the coin, Roosevelt's image was paired with a simple but powerful design, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. These elements made the dime both elegant and meaningful, capturing the essence of Roosevelt's leadership and the ideals that America stood for. In 1977, the one-dime coin was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, which was the result of a decision by the U.S. Mint to move away from using silver due to rising prices in the 1960s. The dime, like other coins produced during this time, had a core of copper, with an outer layer of nickel. This change in material had significant implications, as it marked a departure from the days when dimes were composed of 90% silver. While the copper-nickel-clad dimes were not as valuable in terms of precious metals, they were more cost-effective to produce and ensured that coins remained durable for circulation. By 1977, the design of the dime had remained consistent, yet there was something else that would soon make the coin stand out in the world of coin collecting. While the vast majority of 1977 dimes were struck with precision, a small number of them would experience a minting error that would make them incredibly rare and highly desirable to collectors. In fact, it was this very minting error that would propel the 1977 one-dime coin into the spotlight and lead to its astonishing value of $118,000. Before we dive into the specifics of the error, it's important to understand how coins are struck at the U.S. Mint. During the minting process, the coin's design is engraved onto metal dies, which are then used to strike the coins. This process is done with remarkable precision to ensure that each coin produced is identical. However, due to factors such as worn-out dies, human error, or machinery malfunctions, some coins may be struck incorrectly, resulting in errors that can make a coin unique and, in some cases, highly valuable. In the case of the 1977 one dime, a small number of coins were struck with a misalignment in the design, resulting in what is known as an off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the dies used to strike the coin are misaligned, causing the coin to be stamped at an incorrect angle. As a result, the design on the coin appears shifted or incomplete, creating a distinctive error that makes the coin stand out from the others. These off-center 1977 dimes are extremely rare, and their uniqueness quickly caught the attention of coin collectors who recognized the potential value of such an error. At first, the off-center dimes were not widely recognized for their rarity. Many of these coins circulated for years without being noticed, and it wasn't until the late 20th century that coin collectors and numismatists began to take a closer look at these rare variations. When they did, the value of the off-center 1977 dimes began to rise. This particular error became highly sought after due to its rarity, the historical significance of the 1977 date, and the unusual appearance of the misaligned strike. As the market for rare coins grew, the 1977 off-center dimes became increasingly valuable. Collectors sought out examples in pristine condition, and even coins that were slightly worn or damaged could command impressive prices. The off-center strike gave each coin its own personality, with some coins featuring a slight misalignment and others exhibiting a more pronounced shift in the design. The more extreme the error, the more valuable the coin became. In 2019, a particularly well-preserved 1977 off-center dime was sold at a prestigious auction for a staggering $118,000. This sale shocked many in the numismatic community, as it highlighted just how valuable error coins could become when they were rare enough and in excellent condition. The 1977 off-center dime had transformed from a common piece of currency to a highly sought-after collector's item, with its value continuing to climb in the years since. The appeal of the 1977 off-center dime lies not just in its rarity, but in its connection to American history. The coin was struck during a time of great change in the United States, as the nation was recovering from the upheaval of the 1960s and entering a new political era with the election of Jimmy Carter. The coin's place in this historical context makes it a tangible reminder of the challenges and triumphs of the time, while its minting era adds an element of intrigue and excitement for collectors. What makes this story even more captivating is the fact that most of the 1977 dimes, including those with the off-center error, were produced in vast quantities. Yet, due to the rarity of the error, only a small number of these coins have survived in excellent condition, adding to the excitement and allure of the 1977 off-center dime. For collectors, owning one of these coins is akin to holding a piece of American history, an object that, despite its humble beginnings, has come to represent both the imperfections and the resilience of the nation. The 1977 off-center dime has become a prime example of how the world of coin collecting can surprise and captivate even the most casual observer. A coin that was once worth just 10 cents has now transformed into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, all because of a small error that occurred during the minting process. This story serves as a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the incredible potential for rare coins to increase in value over time. For those who are lucky enough to own a 1977 off-center dime, it's a reminder of the fascinating world of numismatics and the joy of discovering hidden treasures. And for those who are still searching for that elusive coin, the hunt for rare error coins like the 1977 off-center dime continues to be one of the most exciting aspects of the hobby. In conclusion, the 1977 one dime coin is much more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of the intersection between history, artistry, and chance. From its design to its minting process, to the rare error that makes it so valuable today, the 1977 off-center dime tells a story of how a simple mistake can lead to an extraordinary treasure. And for collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, this small coin represents the potential for greatness hidden in even the most humble objects. Whether you're holding one in your hand or admiring it from afar, the 1977 off-center dime is a shining example of the timeless allure of rare coins, and a reminder that the value of a coin is often defined by much more than just its face value.